Well, India's largest digital payment startup is officially a bank today. Paytm Payments Bank opens its doors after winning the approval of the RBI and also raising a huge amount from SoftBank. Of course, that investment making headlines. Joining us now from New Delhi is the founder and CEO, Vijay Sharma. Vijay, great to have you on for us. First of all, this massive amount that's been invested by SoftBank, it's quite an extraordinary funding round. What are you planning to do in terms of how you plan to deploy that capital?
Yeah, thank you so much. I think what I've learned is that India is an investment-first market. I mean, you have to take a bet and faith that Indian market will give the large response, like just like in our payment systems. So we have put about $600 million of investment in the last 2 years in our payments business, and that's what makes us dominating leader in offline and online payment. And now with the large amount of capital that we've raised from SoftBank, we want to expand into rest of the financial services, just like deposits, wealth management, insurance, and lending, and so on. So it's sort of a aim towards becoming a financial services company in the country.
Vijay, congratulations for becoming a payment bank today and getting regulatory approval. But can you explain to me, how do you transition from being, a very successful digital wallet business model to, transitioning towards financial services? What's your strategy for that?
Yeah, so most of the people who are payment wallet users are either the people who have a bank account or already have their cards, credit cards, or debit cards, and they're using those systems using our wallet system. So we are more or less a layer of payment on top of a banking customer. Later when demonetization happened in the country, later part of the last year, we learned that a lot of people who do not have a bank account were also going to the bank and depositing physical cash into Paytm wallet. So we had options for people to do that. And that gave us hope and idea that why not extend this service as a deposit. So our movement will be that consumers, which are wallet users, we'll bring them up to a bank account, because people then can get returns, interest, and a debit card and checkbook just like every other bank gets. And at the same point of time, we are going to acquire new consumers and underserved and unserved, which is sort of a blue ocean in India. If you know, Indian banking system has been focused on the top tier of the customer. So more or less not more than 250 or 300 million people have a bank account here. Actually, that's a count of bank accounts. So that means that number of people who have a legitimate bank account are much smaller. So there is totally about 800, 900 million bank accounts that are yet to be opened in the country. So it's sort of a blue ocean, and we believe by investing first, we can pick this up.
So, I guess that sort of takes me to my next question. Do you position yourself as a collaborator or as a competitor to the big banking players?
Payment bank fundamentally is a collaborator structure with traditional banks, because we aren't going to use the deposits that are coming to lend. Instead, we are going to ask our friends in banking fraternity, NBFC and other banks, to lend to our customers. So traditional banks' business model has been lending, taking deposits and lending. And all our deposits, any which ways, are going in government bonds. So more or less, all our deposits go towards bonds, and the lending happens from the bank. So we are complementary in every sense whatsoever. We are not trying to take a head-on with the traditional banks.
So, Vijay, you have reportedly 220 million total wallets, accounts, that is. Can you tell me what portion of that are actually active, and what do you plan to do in terms of how you can potentially monetize, this wealth of consumer data? It would seem that maybe, a credit-type service would make sense.
Yep, you're right. In fact, of these 220 million, if we take 12 months rolling active, that's a little less than 100 million. So something between 90 to 100 million are the annually active customers that we call, who are doing transactions at least 1 or 2 times and then adding money and so on. So with that customer base, what we are able to generate is tremendous amount of data, and we are helping underwrite the loans for these customers. In fact, we are not also helping underwriting them loans. We are also doing insurance underwriting, and we are already selling tens of thousands of insurance every day. And we have also brought loans from our partners in tens of millions of dollars, and smaller loans like $1,000, $2,000 loans. So this is basically large number of count with our partners. So basically, loan book is not on our capital balance sheet, but it is with our partner. At the same point in time, we underwrite, we serve, and we take the first loss on the loan.
Would it be correct to say that, though, the future monetization of that customer data, whatever it looks like, is going to be a massive area of growth for Paytm?
Absolutely. I think we have been doing this business by driving direct access to the customer data, and that is exactly the moat that we are going to build upon. So payment generates data, generates underwriting capabilities for lending and insurance, and we incidentally have a wealth management product in digital gold. India is a gold obsessed country, so with PAMP Switzerland and MMTC government of India in India, we also launched a digital vault. Basically, you can buy gold and that's kept in the vault for you. And in a 1 week time period, we became the largest jeweler in the country by number of users. So basically, you can look at it as a whole financial service set of services, and data is the one that allows us to become superior and better. And obviously, the digital distribution through the app is the reason that we have lower cost of customer acquisition.
Vijay, I want to talk to you about your core bread and butter digital payments business. You clearly had that huge tailwind coming from the demonetization drive in November last year. Now that that sort of tapered off and the money has mostly returned to the economy, have you seen that sort of spike ease off a little bit? It was just a one-off distortion?
It sort of brought us upside. Something like 3.5 times has become the new norm. It came back about 20%, but incidentally, the customer growth continued to happen. So we had like a couple of weeks were week on week flat. Otherwise, we have a month on month 7-8% growth any which way. So the numbers are there in a 3.5 times bigger than previous. So now we are doing about 8-9 million transactions a day, and in a peak we were seeing 10-11 million transactions a day.
Vijay, what kind of interest or strategy do you have in going into, sort of liquid money market type operations, essentially building up India's version of Ant Financial's Yuva?
Yeah, and Financial Yuva is an incredible success because it offers liquidity and it offers money market returns. So we have sent a product for approval, and we do want to offer nearly built with one of the local Indian mutual fund house money market fund. And we believe that it will be one of the great wealth management products for consumers because it will be so easy to get money in and money out and still get something like upward of 6.5 to 7% yields. So we believe that our bank account effectively will be able to give a larger return to the consumers because of this wealth management option there.